If you've got a bunch of H100s, that's fine. Right? If you've got billions of dollars of funding from random VC firms, that's fine. But if you're DeepSeek, that's no longer tenable. So what these guys did was they used a different strategy. So the way that traditional LLMs have been trained is through this process called proximal policy optimization, okay? PPO. It's this idea that you have your policymaker, which is your LLM, but then there's this thing on top, which is kind of like the critic model. And what that critic model is doing is it's taking the output of the policy, and then it's trying to guess at what the reward is going to be, okay? And what this critic model does is feed back that advantage to the big LLM to tell it, okay, you're on the right track, or no, it's not working. Crucially, this is very expensive because now you've got two models that you're training, right? And as the LLM gets bigger and bigger, the critic model has to get bigger and bigger to try to figure out how to calculate that advantage. If you've got a bunch of H100s, that's fine. But if you're DeepSeek, that's no longer tenable. So what these guys did was they used a different strategy called group relative policy optimization. Okay? They don't have this second critic model. They don't have this 2x parameter blow up. What they have is their original LLM, and what it's going to do is it's going to output a bunch of different answers, okay? And then what it's going to do is it's going to calculate the reward for each, and there's going to be a distribution that you can calculate about that. There's going to be some that are above the mean, which means that that is better than those others. The whole idea is you're trying to get this idea of advantage. Which are the strategies that give me advantage, and which are the strategies that don't? In the traditional LLMs, the ones that we're doing in the States and in the West, we've got this separate neural network that is calculating that advantage and telling the original one where to go. Here, the original one is coming up with different answers and then creating a distribution out of that and then figuring out, okay, I should go here to this part. Whatever I did here, that's what's good. Whatever I did here, that's what's bad. But you don't need this second giant neural network to train. Right? So it's a really interesting strategy where you're choked by the hardware, but you're saying, okay, well, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Right? I think it's rather cool.
I think that this is an important, there is always, because of this nexus between nation states trying to accrue and maintain power and the importance of frontier technologies to that goal, we're always going to see policy impact how these technologies grow and progress.